Is my mic gonna work? Yes. Now, there's been a lot of hoopla about like what the politics of Star Trek is, and one of the things I'd really like to get into is I want to talk about this. Like I've heard that from various people the claim that Star Trek is Christian and conservative. But being a longtime Trek watcher, I know that not to be entirely. I'm not entirely. I know that not to be true at all because because I remember Star Trek distinctively being liberal. Like it felt different from kind of what I had been brought up as a conservative, as a Republican. Then it's just don't listen to these people gaslighting you, trying to gaslight you into thinking that it's conservative because it really isn't, or not conservative so much that it is conservative, um, because it isn't. It's liberal. It's much closer to like classical liberalism, if anything, old school liberalism, if anything, as far as its leanings. But my view of like politics in Star Trek is that we never really see the politics of Star Trek other than like treaties and agreements about how to handle wars and conflicts. I mean, that's as far as we see. We don't see strictly liberal or conservative. In fact, I would argue that Star Trek's politics is quite alien. That I would argue that Star Trek's politics is quite alien, and how a lot of it is not going to reflect the current day sensibilities of like woke or anti woke, conservative, liberal, Republican, Democrat. If anything, the future is uncertain, and so Roddenberry probably wanted to represent that uncertainty in his own work and the stuff that he was creating, along with other people who had different sensibilities, and this collaborative effort of that was going on with these properties. I would argue that Star Trek is not the politics of the present, but rather the politics of the future. However, may be as uncertain what the actual future holds.
What you watch where you're going, you dumbass? Well, a double dumbass on you. It's a miracle these people ever got out of the 20th century.
They're still using money. We gotta find something.
Are we leaving?
Come on. Don't have much time.
Could we have that to go, please?
Sure, who gets the bad news?
Don't tell me they don't use money in the 23rd century.
Well, we don't.
How many planets are in this federation?
Over 150. Spread across 8,000 light years.
Must not get home much.
Actually, I tend to think of this ship as home. But if it's Earth you're talking about, I try to get back whenever I can.
Good. They haven't broken the encryption codes yet.
Who? Those bionic zombies you told me about? The
Borg.
Borg? Sounds Swedish. How big is this ship?
There are 24 decks. Almost 700 meters long.
It took me 6 months to scrounge up enough titanium just to build a 4-meter cockpit. How much did this thing cost?
The economics of the future is somewhat different. You see, money doesn't exist in the 24th century.
No money. You mean you don't get paid?
The acquisition of wealth is no longer the driving force in our lives. We work to better ourselves and the rest of humanity. Actually, we're rather like yourself and Dr. Cochrane.
And that whole idea that we don't have money in the future. I mean that's just as much bunk as Starfleet's not a military, even though it has military ranks. It has military ranks. You know, it's not just space exploration, Picard. There's gold pressed latinum, and I think Starfleet has credits, so it has money. They do use money in the future. It's just the money is way different from the money that we would probably use in the present. What I really meant to say was that Star Trek has a currency. Has currency, especially with the Federation, with Starfleet and the Federation. They do have a currency. It may not be money, but they do have currencies that they actually use in the future. Despite what popular beliefs you might hear otherwise, they do have a currency. It may not be money per se, but it is a currency or currencies in the future.